Today we're going to take a look at this Pulsar 4,000 watt dual fuel inverter generator. We're going to open up the box, I'm going to set it all up, I'm going to show you what is included, and we're going to talk about some of the key features of this generator, and I'm going to give you a real world example as to why this generator will make sense for you. Let's get into the video. So let's start by opening up the box and see what is included with your generator. All right, so first of all, it is packed really nice. Everything looks like it was shipped in great condition. One thing that I do like is they include the oil that you need, and we'll talk a little bit later in the video about setting it up. This is a little 3-prong adapter, so we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. Comes with a screwdriver. This is a little funnel that we'll use to fill up the oil, so it's nice that they include that. This is the propane hose for the liquid propane. We're going to set that up. My intentions with this generator is to not actually put gas in it. I'm a huge fan of these dual fuel generators simply because the propane has a much longer shelf life. Anytime I add gas to this, of course I got to worry about the gas going bad in it. And what's really nice about this liquid propane is I can store 2 or 3 30-pound cylinders and I don't have to worry about it going bad. So let's pull this generator out of the box. So the generator weighs about 47 pounds, which is pretty heavy, but it's not terribly bad. So let's take a look at what is included with your generator. As I mentioned, this is your instruction book, your instruction manual. Comes with a screwdriver. This is a socket for your spark plug. This is a adapter, again, for your 120 volt plug. Comes with the oil that you need. An oil filler, which is really cool. I'll show you this here in just a minute. This is what you'll actually screw in to fill up your oil. These are little plugs that come with your generator to be able to hook 2 of these up together in parallel so that you can actually double your output, which is really nice. And then it comes with a low pressure propane hose. Looking at the front of the unit, we have a low idle button. I'll show you that here in just a minute. We've got our indicator lights for oil, overload, and then output, just to make sure we're putting out any output. Of course, we've got a circuit breaker. This is our fuel source, so we can switch between liquid propane and gas. This is our inlet for our propane, so we'll hook that up there. It has a on-off switch run where we're putting it on gas or choke. This is our 120 volt inlet, and then we've got a 120 volt receptacle as well, and then a circuit breaker for that. These are those 2 parallel cords I was telling you about, so you'll hook these up and you can run 2 generators in parallel. Looking at the side of the unit, this is our access panel for our spark plug. And then coming along the front, this is our access panel for our oil. So we'll fill this up. I'll show you guys how to fill this up with oil. And then we have an access panel as well for our air cleaner as well. So if we need to change that, we can do that, all that right here. I like how these are just really simple to get on and off. Just a quick quarter turn and these come on and off. Up top here is where you would put in your fuel for your gasoline. Of course, we're not going to use that. It does have a filter in it as well and shows you the red line where you're supposed to fill your fuel up to so you don't actually overfill it. I like that it's got a little detention cap so you don't have to worry about laying this down on the ground. And then we flip this around on the other side. This is where you'll actually pull start the unit. It does not come with oil in it, so the first thing we've got to do is put oil in it. So let me flip this around and I'll show you guys how to fill this up with oil the right way. All right, so we're going to open up our access panel to get to our oil. I have laid down a piece of cardboard underneath here just in case I spill any oil. Now, according to the manual, this unit takes 15 ounces of oil to fill. They provide 15.3 ounces of oil, so just about the entire jug will go into this generator. We've got our little screw cap here, our dipstick, so we'll remove that. And as I mentioned, it threads right on there really easy to make sure that we don't spill anything, which is really, really nice. Okay, and we can kind of cup this up as to not spill any oil. Again, according to the manual, once you put this and fill this up with oil, after 1 month or 20 hours of use, you then want to change the oil and make sure that you give it time to give that break-in. We call that break-in period. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'll run this for the first month or 20 hours, and then I'm going to come back and actually put in some nice synthetic oil to make sure that I get really good life out of this unit. So we'll slowly pour this in. So now we'll unscrew our funnel. Now, as with most of these small engines, we're simply going to put the dipstick in. Now the manual says when we put this in here, we don't actually screw it on to measure the oil. We're just going to dip it in and make sure that it comes up to the fill line, which it is perfectly full, exactly what we want. So one thing that I want to do a little bit later is put on an hour meter. Always a really good idea to do that just so that we know approximate run time. Just good for these small engines as well. Put our cover back on for our oil. Again, super easy, quarter turn and it locks. Now let's hook up the propane to the front of this unit so that we can fire it up and let you guys hear how loud or how quiet this thing really is. So hooking up the propane is really, really simple. We've got this little cover here. We're gonna simply thread this on there. Want to be careful that we don't strip the threads. All right, and then I've got a little wrench here and we'll tighten this down. We don't want to go too tight here, but just enough to where we don't get any leaks. So that's about a quarter of a turn there. That's it. All right, so let's take this thing outside, hook up a propane tank and fire it up for the first time. And I'll show you how to properly fire this thing up. I've seen lots of reviews of people online that have struggles starting this thing. So I'll show you how to start it up where you don't have any problems. Now, I can tell you one thing that I really like about this generator is just how long this propane hose is. On some of the other units I've seen where they're only a foot or two, so you can't really get the propane cylinder very far away from your generator. So I really like the fact that they give you a really long hose. One tip that I want to give you, when you're opening up your cylinder, you want to make sure you open up really, really slowly. So we'll do that. All right, and so when it comes to starting the unit, there is a quick start guide that I'm going to leave attached to this just for reference, but we want to make sure that we have the settings right. We have the low idle set to off. We want to make sure we have the propane source set to propane, which we do. That's good. Now, when it comes to starting this gas versus propane, the instructions are a little bit different. When it comes to gas, we want to set this to choke and then pull start until it starts. Where with propane, I've seen a lot of videos where people struggle to get this thing to start. So essentially, because we just hooked this up, there is air inside this line. And so we want to pull that air through. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to set this to choke. We're going to pull it 2 times, and then we're going to set it to run. And then when we pull it 1 time, it should start. So let's do that. We've got it set to choke. We're going to pull this twice. 1, 2, and then we set it to run. So now we've pulled all the air through the line. Within 1 or 2 pulls, this thing should start. Look at that, first pull. I just want to note how quiet this thing is. I mean, I'm standing right next to this and I'm just talking normally with a normal conversation, and it's really not that loud. I'm super impressed just how quiet it is. Let's turn down the low idle function and let's see, you'll hear the RPMs come down to roughly about half, which is phenomenal. That is so, so quiet. So when it comes to breaking this thing in, we want to let this run for about an hour. I'm going to check the oil in here and just make sure that now that it's moving through the system that it's got the right amount of oil in it. But we're just going to let this run for the next hour or so. I really don't want to put this under any sort of load for at least an hour until the engine gets warm and we kind of get it broke in, which is always good to do before you have the emergency, before you actually need this, which is a great time to be doing this. Now, when it comes to powering down the unit, you simply turn it to off. It'll purge all of the fuel through the line. and the unit will eventually shut down. Just like that. So let's talk about some really important information to let you know if this generator is going to be right for you. So first of all, remember I mentioned this is a dual fuel generator. So the peak wattage under gas is 4,000 watts and the running watts is 3,200. The peak watts for propane is 3,700 with a running watts of 3,000. Now when it comes to deciding if this generator is right for you, if you're going to be running off of propane, well, for any generator for that matter, we always want to stay between 75 and 80% of its maximum capacity. So for this generator, we want to stay between 2,000, 2,200, 2,500, somewhere around in there when it comes to running watts. Now sure, we could go up to 3,000, we could even peak up to 3,700, but we want to live and stay within that 22 to 2,500 running watts so that we don't overload the generator and we give ourselves some what I call wiggle room. Now, how do I intend on using this generator? Well, I recently made a video about a Jackery 5000 Plus, which is a solar generator, and that is actually how I plan on powering my home through a power outage. And the way I'm going to recharge those batteries is with this generator right here. This is an inverter style generator, so it can handle those sensitive electronics like TVs, radios, PlayStations, all that kind of stuff. And because it has a running watts of 3,000 and charging that Jackery at 1,800 watts, I'm well within that range. This is an extremely quiet generator, so if you're using it for camping or tailgating, this would make an awesome option. I'm going to leave a link down below to Amazon if you want to go check out this generator, and you can check out pricing and all of its features and all that kind of stuff. There are a lot of also really great reviews all over the internet, all over YouTube, if you want to go check them out, that go into more detail about the sound decibels and all that stuff. I just wanted to make a quick review of a generator in case it's something that you're interested in. My name is Devin. I'm the DIY Lawn Coach. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel if you found it helpful. If you've got a question about anything that I said or this generator in specific, I will be glad to answer that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.